In this video, I am sharing with you an important part of my story. This is how I escaped religion and found my way to a satisfying kind of unbelief. For much of my childhood, I was sheltered from many of life's harsh realities, kept safe in the embrace of a traditional Anglican church. This was largely thanks to my mother's influence. Throughout those years, I remember having vague doubts and suspicions about some of the church's claims as it tried to educate me in its beliefs. I ended up with more questions than answers. As I grew older and more independent, I took a leap of faith away from religion toward unbelief, away from the church and away from everything it represented. At no point did it feel like I was throwing away the key to any great treasure. In my late 20s, I encountered a fairly open-minded Presbyterian minister named Neil. His critical approach to religion struck a chord within me, sparking my interest. A year or two later, I enrolled in a university theology course, leading to what can only be described as a series of Lightbulb Moments. The first moment came when I realized that the Genesis creation stories, and there are two of them, are not original. They are borrowed from other religions. The idea of a God creating order out of chaos and then resting on the seventh day. These concepts or images are found in the myths of ancient Egypt and Babylon. And so too, from the same region, the tree of knowledge and making people from dust. These were present in other earlier mythologies. The second lightbulb moment was recognizing that stories expand in their retelling. The New Testament Gospels and the Epistles all show clear signs of a developing story. Each retelling expands the narrative, with Mark being the first Gospel writer whose work was copied and extended by Matthew and Luke. John's Gospel was written later with a purpose quite distinct from the others. And the timing and context of writing for each of the epistles demonstrates expanding, evolving thought. If the New Testament writers allowed their thinking to develop, then so may we. Anyway, the university study led to my training and ordination into the Presbyterian ministry. But in hindsight, I never truly held religious beliefs. I was driven by a desire to understand why I felt that way and why the religion of my upbringing always seemed to me unbelievable. This certainly created challenges. Throughout an extensive career as an ordained minister, I often had to clarify that despite my role, I was not a conventionally religious person. My references to a God became increasingly euphemistic, reflecting the evolving nature of my unbelief. My story is one of questioning, of doubting, and ultimately of finding my own way. I hope that by sharing these experiences, I may encourage you to explore your own beliefs and convictions, and to never stop questioning the world around you, even what I have said, and decide for yourself. I'm interested to know. I invite you to tell me what you think, and perhaps more importantly, tell me why. And thank you for listening. I am Roger James.